Chicago Fire has been one of the most popular shows in the Dick Wolf TV universe for 14 seasons, going strong despite a near-complete turnover in the cast, but only some of them decided to leave on their own. Lauren German played Leslie Shea in Chicago Fire for 2 full seasons. Leslie was a paramedic assigned to Ambulance 61, where her name remains to this day, proving how much of an impact she made on the series. But even though she was a core character, the writers killed her off. Leslie died in the season 2 finale after being injured in a building collapse.
I know. Every call feels like it could be the last.
It wasn't German's idea to leave the show. The writers decided to kill off a major character to shock viewers. After the episode aired, executive producer Matt Olmstead told TV Line, "We knew if we were going to do it, it had to be someone who was going to give us a big impact, as opposed to going for a lesser-known character, which would equate to a pulled punch. So, as opposed to approaching it with timidity, we thought we'd go for it." After leaving Chicago Fire, German landed the role of homicide detective Chloe Decker on Lucifer from 2016 to 2021. Monica Raymund played Gabriella Dawson, a central character in the first 6 seasons of Chicago Fire. During her time on the show, Gabriella was involved with Matthew Casey, and the couple got married in the 100th episode. Even so, Raymund decided to leave the show once her initial contract came to an end. Speaking with the Chicago Tribune, she said, "I felt like I was hungry to explore a different role, a different story. I wanted to explore a different world. I had been in Chicago for 5 years, and just personally, where I was in my life, I was ready to create my home and kind of plant some roots in Los Angeles." At the end of season 6, Raymond's character moved to Puerto Rico to help with relief efforts. Gabriella and Casey were still married when she moved. They divorced after Raymond made a guest appearance in season 7. Raymond made another guest appearance in season 8. Since her time on Chicago Fire, Raymond starred in crime drama series Hightown from 2020 to 2024. She's also returned to the Dick Wolf TV universe in a new role, directing episodes of shows like Law & Order, Special Victims Unit, Law & Order Organized Crime, and FBI. Jesse Spencer's exit in the middle of season 10 was even more impactful than Raymond's, since he'd played one of the show's central characters from the very first episode. Spencer successfully led the cast of Chicago Fire for 10 seasons and was a fan favorite, but ultimately made the decision to leave after 18 years on network TV. In an interview with Us Weekly, he said, "It was a difficult decision because I've loved the show from the start, but there are other things that I would like to do in the future, and there's some family that I need to take care of, and 18 years is a long time." In episode 200, Spencer's character, Matthew Casey, left Chicago and moved to Portland to become the legal guardian of the teenage sons of his best friend, Andy Darden, who died in the show's pilot episode. This turned Casey's exit into a full-circle moment for the show.
Can't believe we actually finally get to do this.
I never had a doubt.
Spencer has since returned to the series for a few episodes, one of which featured his long-awaited wedding to Sylvie Brett, but it can't be denied that his departure changed Chicago Fire forever. After Monica Raymund left Chicago Fire and her character divorced Casey, he needed a new love interest. Kara Killmer's character, Sylvie Brett, had been a paramedic working out of Firehouse 51 since season 3, and the pair had undeniable chemistry, so exploring a romantic connection made perfect sense. Casey and Sylvie quickly became a fan favorite couple and stayed together until Spencer left halfway through season 10. Due to the hardships of maintaining a long-distance relationship, the couple broke up in Chicago Fire season 11, but the breakup was short-lived. Casey returned to propose to Sylvie in the season 11 finale. Since his character was living in Portland, it was announced that Sylvie would be written off the show, so Sylvie and Casey got their happy ending, complete with a wedding during season 12, and Killmer left Chicago Fire for good. Speaking with people about her departure, Killmer said, "The writing's been on the wall for a long time. Sylvie and Matt, their saga, that relationship had been building up for 3 years, and then Jesse exits the show. She and Matt becoming a family is for sure the most natural, inevitable conclusion for the arc of her character."
The old guard is on their way out. It's time for some fresh blood.
Eamonn Walker's stunning exit from Chicago Fire changed the show forever, especially since he was the first actor cast in the hit series. Walker played Firehouse 51 Chief Wallace Bowden for 12 years before deciding it was time to move on. In an interview with TV Line, Chicago Fire showrunner Andrea Newman said, "Actor-wise, 12 years is a long time. Nobody expects in TV that they're going to be anywhere for 12 years. I can say that for sure, from all sides." Since Walker had been a mainstay from the very beginning of the series, some fans were surprised and even heartbroken that he decided to leave. At the end of season 12, Wallace was promoted to Deputy Commissioner of the Chicago Fire Department. Despite him no longer being a regular cast member, he returned as a guest star for one episode in season 13. Since his character is now in a major position of power, the door is most definitely open for him to reprise his role again in the future. In Chicago Fire Season 3, Peter Mills, played by actor Charlie Barnett, decided to leave firefighting behind to focus on his family and move to North Carolina with his mother and sister. But like Lauren German, Barnett was devastated that the writers decided to write him out after only 3 seasons. Reflecting on his exit in an interview with Digital Spy, Barnett said, "The show was a behemoth that I never really saw coming. I was thankful to be a part of it. I really was sad to be let go. It broke me for quite a long time." Barnett is likely over it by now. Since leaving Chicago Fire, he's appeared in Arrow and The Acolyte and has played prominent roles in various Netflix series, including Tales of the City, You, and Russian Doll. Stephen R. McQueen's Chicago Fire character, Jimmy Borelli, was introduced in the Season 4 premiere. Even though McQueen's time on the show was quite short, his character had some meaty storylines, including his complicated relationship with his brother and his feud with Firehouse 51 Chief Wallace Bowden. Early in Season 5, Jimmy suffered severe burns and lost an eye after defying Bowden's orders and attempting to save someone in a truck before it exploded. Unable to continue as a firefighter, McQueen's character was written off the show. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Chicago Fire co-creator Michael Brandt explained, "We wanted to get a little leaner and meaner in terms of our storytelling and what characters we were focusing on, so Jimmy leaving was a byproduct of that." In the years since leaving the show, McQueen has appeared in Hallmark's Home by Spring and the TV Western film The Warrens. Yuriy Sardarov's character, Brian Otis Zivanacek, was a Chicago Fire fan favorite beginning with Season 1. Otis, who was the driver of Truck 81, was a positive, calming presence on the show, even during incredibly stressful situations, which made it heartbreaking when he was killed off in the Season 8 premiere. Otis died from injuries sustained during a mattress factory fire after heroically shutting a steel door, saving the factory workers and the rest of his crew. In an interview with People, former showrunner Derek Haas, who'd known Sardarov since college, confessed, "It was tough making that call to kill off Otis, but I knew it was right for the show. I tried to make it not meaningless." After the Season 8 premiere aired, Sardarov posted a poem dedicated to Otis on Instagram with the additional caption, "Thank you for the greatest 7 years of my life." In the years since his time on Chicago Fire, Sardarov has done guest spots on The Rookie and FBI International.
I intend to honor Otis's memory in everything I do here.
Alberto Rosende joined Chicago Fire as Blake Gallo in Season 8. Blake had a tragic origin story, having lost his entire family in a fire when he was just a child. Rosende stayed with the show for 3 seasons before deciding to move on. His character reunited with an aunt towards the end of Season 11 and learned he had more relatives living in Detroit, which led to him leaving Chicago in the Season 12 premiere. Rosende opened up about his decision to leave Chicago Fire in an Instagram story, writing, "When I decided to end my time with Chicago, it wasn't easy. The people I've met were truly special. The friendships I've made will last a lifetime, and the story I got to tell was one that made me proud." In the wake of Season 12 exits from Chicago Fire, there was an opportunity for supporting characters to get more screen time moving forward. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case for Daniel Kyri's character, Darren Ritter, who'd been a firefighter at Firehouse 51 since Season 7. Kyri was promoted to series regular in Season 9 and had several intriguing storylines, but he was written out of the show during Season 14 in what was reportedly a bid to slash the show's budget. After filming his last scene as Ritter, Kyri took to Instagram to reflect on his time on Chicago Fire, writing, "Chicago Fire changed my life. Bringing Darren Ritter to the screen has transformed and healed me in equal measure. He is a man who embodies empathy, humility, compassion, and unwavering bravery to save lives. His heroism is further fortified by the way he navigates the world. A gay black firefighter who is proud, fierce, loyal, and whole. A possibility I never got to see on screen in my childhood, but desperately craved." When it was announced that Daniel Kyri would be leaving the show, it was also revealed that Jake Lockett's Sam Carver would also be written off in Season 14. Lockett joined the show in Season 11, and at the end of Season 13, not long after the news of Lockett's departure broke, it was revealed that Carver was transferring to the Denver Fire Department to get a fresh start and focus on his sobriety. In an Instagram post following the announcement of his exit, Lockett wrote, "While I don't exactly know what the future looks like, I do know that it won't be exactly what it was, and I am going to miss the hell out of that. It's been an honor bringing Sam to life, and to every one of you, thank you for the love and support over the past 3 years." Since his debut in season 12, Michael Bradway's Jack Damon has been one of the most intriguing characters on Chicago Fire, and even more so after it was revealed that he was the half-brother of Kelly Severide, played by Taylor Kinney. Severide is one of the only original cast members still on the show as of season 14. It seemed like there were plenty of potential storylines ahead for Jack, but Bradway wasn't able to return for season 14 after being cast in Prime Video's adaptation of Carly Fortune's popular novel Every Summer After, which will be called Every Year After. Bradway's exit presented yet another challenge for the Chicago Fire writers. However, while he definitely won't return in season 14, there's a chance that Bradway will be back at some point in the future.